Otra vez, Loco is back with yet another laid-back track. So how about y'all just kick back and relax? Oh my god, bro, that was so fucking stupid. What's up, y'all? It's Loco, and I know I've been gone for a little bit, but I got shit to do. This video may not have the best editing, but deal with it. You gotta bear with it right now. So I just came here to dump my thoughts. You understand me? So I just had like a thought that I never thought of before, if that makes sense. I was thinking, could DMS Obito beat Madara, like Jubidara? And I'm not talking about like the fatigued Obito that was on the brink of death at the end of the series, like in the Kaguya fight. Now I'm talking about like a hypothetical full power Obito. Stamina is maxed out. He's not injured. He's not dying. You know, he's rested. You know, his chakra levels are like completely full or whatever. And against the strongest form of Madara. So I posted a poll about it, right? And it's pretty divided. You know, like I think I started a war in the comments section. I aired my thoughts out and I let everybody know what I think, and there were a lot of people that disagreed with me, and I just want to like make my thoughts clear about it right now, just to get it out of the way, just to get all this off my chest. I think Obito would win. All right, I can hear y'all typing right now, but yes, I think Obito would win, just based off of the scaling that we've seen so far, and just how high he could have scaled if he had stayed in the series a little bit longer. Maybe if he was rested, maybe if he hadn't like gotten the Jubi ripped out of him, along with performing Rene Tensei, which should have killed him. Like we don't really know what he could have done at full potential. It's the same thing with Madara, because I know people are going to be in the comments saying that like, well, we've never seen Madara's true power or whatever. We never got to see what he could do with a third eye, but well, we never really got to see what Obito could do either at full power. So I don't want to see any of that in the comments. I'm not having it. But without further ado, let's just get right into the video. So let's make this kind of quick here. All right, I'm just gonna air my thoughts out right now. So I don't really like it, but I think Obito probably beats Madara here. Or let's be honest, he bodies Madara. Okay. See, Obito was able to blitz Kaguya's bone rods before Kakashi, Naruto, or Sasuke could react, and he did this while incredibly fatigued and on the verge of death, like I already said. Some people also believe that DMS Kakashi is stronger than Kaguya. I don't know how I feel about that, but if you want to go with that argument, like, Kakashi's running off a borrowed power here, okay? That's not his power. It comes wholly from Obito. All of his six-pass chakra came from Obito. The eyes came from Obito. It's not really a good argument to say that, like, it's Kakashi plus Obito. Really, the only thing that Kakashi did was stack fucking Kamui on top of Raikiri. That's really all he did. All of that is Obito's power. So we can assume that Obito had access to a Susanoo as well, or he would have had access to a Susanoo as well, along with Kamui's shurikens as well. It's very likely that he would have been able to, because all Susanoos kind of come equipped with their own type of weapon. Sasuke has a crossbow. Itachi has his special spirit weapons. So it's very likely that Kamui's shurikens, or just shurikens in general, are like Kakashi and Obito's like special weapons for their Susanoo. So Obito should really have all the same powers that Kakashi has, except for the Kamui Raikiri, obviously. Really, he should just scale directly to, if not above, Kakashi, because he would not have a time limit on his eyes. You know, we've known that Kamui is like a passive ability, right? It doesn't take that much stamina to activate, at least for Obito. Not for Kakashi, but for Obito, he was able to spam that shit throughout the entire series. He literally only had one jutsu, and it made him like the strongest character up until the war arc. You know what I'm saying? Like, Obito has great feats against Kaguya, and like Madara just never made it that far in the series, right? He doesn't have feats that could scale him like this. Even if you want to somehow dismiss these ideas that I've said earlier, the fact that Obito was able to blitz Kaguya's bone rods, which Naruto and Sasuke could not react to, along with him scaling directly to DMS Kakashi, like, even if you want to ignore all of that, Obito, before he had his second eye, and before he had six-pass chakra to begin with, blitzed Jubidara. Granted, it was one-eye Jubidara, but he did this, like I said, before he had six-pass chakra and before he had his extra eye. Madara was trying to sweet talk him into giving him his other Renegon, and he was saying like, you're like the second Madara, you're like a part of me, you're still the savior of this world. And Obito was walking towards him, and he stabs Madara before he can react, steals not only the one tails and the eight tails, but also a true Seeker orb, and Madara doesn't do shit about it, right? You can say that he caught Madara off guard, and maybe that doesn't mean it's like an actual speed bliss, but that should still mean that they're relative, like in the same ballpark of power. You know what I'm saying? So like that just like this is before Obito had the six pass chakra and before he had his other eye. So like I don't know what to tell you here. It's just like blatantly like outspeeding Madara. So once again, I feel like I gotta repeat myself. Obito was at the brink of death at this point. He was not being amped by Zetsu. Zetsu was actually very surprised that Obito was still alive. I'll probably just throw this up on screen. He actually exclaims to Obito, he's like, "You're still alive? Like after all of that?" So he thought Obito was dead. He was not amping him. He was not keeping him alive in any way. Obito had no six pass chakra, and he only had one eye. And he was still able to do all of this while overpowering Zetsu's control over him at the same time. Now, let's go over Madara for a bit here. Madara was getting bullied by like base 6-pass Sage Mode Naruto before he absorbed the God Tree, and then he gets blatantly blitzed and cut in half by Sasuke after absorbing the God Tree. Now, he gets his second Rinnegan after this and gets unquantifiable boost from that, and he's able to activate the Infinite Tsukuyomi right after that. But his Limbo clones are on par with Naruto's Shadow clones. They were able to box it out and swap hands for a little while. His meteors were getting blown up and cut in half by Sasuke's Susanoo and a couple Rasen Shurikens, and he was just trying to distract Naruto and Sasuke while he was trying to create the Infinite Tsukuyomi, right? So I wouldn't say that he was necessarily pressured at this point, but by no means was he playing around here. He was going for the kill. Like he was trying his best to go up and activate the Tsukuyomi, or the Infinite Tsukuyomi, right? So there would be no reason why he would be holding back or anything like this. Even his statement at the end where he's saying like, I'm the savior of this world, I'll take care of them. That doesn't really prove anything. That doesn't mean he was necessarily holding back. Like I said before, if anything, he was struggling. He got beat up by them multiple times before he gained his second Rinnegan, and even then, his Limbo clones, which should scale directly to Madara in terms of physical strength, were still having trouble dealing with Naruto's Shadow clones. So, I don't want to necessarily say that Obito would be able to box it out with Naruto's Shadow clones, but if he scales to DMS Kakashi by any way, especially if he's like faster than Naruto and Sasuke, because he could react to the rods, whereas they couldn't, he would just be too fast for the Limbo clones or Madara to even touch him. So I don't know, dude. This is the scaling that the author wrote. So I'm just stating the facts here. Now, Obito doesn't have too many abilities. I'll give you that. He really only has Kamui and like a fucking fireball jutsu at this point. So let's go over Madara's abilities for a second here. We have Chibaku Tensei, Obito can Kamui out of that. Wood Style, Obito can Kamui out of that. Fucking Infinite Tsukuyomi is a valid criticism. It depends on whether or not you think Obito's Susanoo would be able to block it, but at the same time, Obito could just like retreat into the Kamui dimension. He knows all about Infinite Tsukuyomi. It was his plan to create the Eye of the Moon plan as well, so he should know about it and he should know what it does, so he can easily react in time and just fucking go in the Kamui dimension. It's as simple as that, and wait for it to be over, because it is it only like hangs around for a certain amount of time and then it just kind of goes away. Everyone else is in the trance, but if you're not there, or if you're being shielded, you're not going to get affected by it. So if Obito's in the Kamui dimension, he's immune to it. Light Fang, Obito should be fucking faster than that, just blatantly. He scales to like he scales above Naruto and Sasuke. He like I've already said multiple times, Naruto was able to dodge it point blank pretty easily. Obito should be able to do the same thing. Limbo clones are a little bit tricky. I know that's what everyone has already been typing in the comments already. Limbo clones are a little bit tricky. Obito does have 6-pass chakra, but he doesn't necessarily have 6-pass Sage mode, so it's debatable if whether or not he'd be able to sense them or even see them. But unless you think that the 6-pass chakra amps his Sharingan as well, which means that he might be able to see them, unless you think that's a Rinnegan exclusive perk, you know, it's very, very debatable. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think the 6-pass amp would be able to allow Obito, or Kakashi for that matter, to be able to see Madara's Limbo clones? It's very debatable, but even so, you can make an argument that, I don't know if it's stated in the data books or if it's stated by Obito himself, but Kamui is a passive ability, which means that as long as the Mangekyo Sharingan is active, Obito's or Kakashi's, it is always passive, and they will just pass through anything that comes near them. Like it's not something that they can just turn on and off. They can turn off the Mangekyo Sharingan, but as long as it's active, Kamui will always protect them. I will throw that scan up on screen for all the non-believers. But if you take this statement at face value, at an actual literal face value, the Limbo clones would just pass through Obito every time. So I don't know what y'all think about Limbo clones. It's possible that he might be able to sense them or see them or just simply pass through them every time. But the argument still stands that he would just be able to speed blitz Madara and the Limbo clones to scale directly to him. So it kind of depends. Like how much of a problem do you think the Limbo clones are actually going to be? Like I don't I don't really know, man. Now Madara doesn't really have any win cons other than possibly Limbo, but I've already explained that. So let's just go over Obito's win cons. Obito can BFR Madara at any point in time. BFR stands for Battlefield Removal. That means if Madara is put into the Kami dimension and he is not able to escape, then Obito wins by default. That is a valid win condition, and it is a very, very possible solution. The only thing that you could possibly say is that Madara's Limbo clones could switch places with Madara. There's no real evidence that they should be able to switch places across like actual fucking time space. But even if you do give Madara that, even if I were to give Madara that point and say he could switch places with his Limbo clones across space-time, then Obito, all he has to do is just Kami Madara another 4 times, because Madara can only create like fucking 4 or 5 Limbo clones. I can't really remember what it is, but it doesn't really matter. Obito, like I already said, he's able to react to Kaguya and like multiple times. That's just directly above anything Madara has. So he just spams Kamui every time Madara tries to switch places with his Limbo clones. If he can even do that and try to escape the Kamui dimension, he just does it again and again and again until Madara and all of its Limbo clones are just trapped in the Kamui dimension. And there's your BFR. It's the same thing with Kamui Shurikens. He could use the Kamui Shurikens on Madara and his Limbo clones for like a mass effect. It's like a big version of Kamui, or he could just use it on any of Madara's other jutsu, like the Chibaku Tensei meteors or whatever you want to say. Another thing that I just thought about is that Obito would be able to pull the Bijou out of Madara. Like unironically, he's done it once before. He pulled the One Tails and the Eight Tails out of Madara and gave them to Naruto so he could survive, right? So he should just be able to do that again. He could deadass rip the Bijou right out of Madara, make him like a normal person once again, and then just end it from there. Like it's just gonna be that much easier for him. He might even be able to have the Bijou like fight alongside him. So it's just Obito has several win cons that Madara just wouldn't be able to combat against. I'm not even trying to be disingenuous here. For all the Madara stands out there, I know y'all are gonna be pretty mad at me down in those comments, but this is genuinely the scaling that Kishimoto provided for us in the series. While I don't necessarily like it, I don't really see that many counter arguments against it. So this is just what we're going to be running with today. I just wanted to get this off my chest. I probably didn't edit this very well, so I'm sorry about that. But I should be coming out with more videos soon. I know I've been gone for a while, but I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, possibly subscribe, or whatever you want to do. And other than that, I'm going to just catch y'all later. Peace. Sunshine.